Beautiful morning to you. Thank God it's Friday. How are you today? How is your day going? How is every? I hope that today is going on well for you and it's feeling like a Friday for you. I mean, now just last week with the short public holiday, it don't come pass. So this week itself don't finish. Next week, another holiday is coming. So just relax and let us get there. All right, so yes, this is your Women Radio. You're welcome to the program HerLens, where we discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. All right, so my name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser, and this morning with me on HerLens, I have Susan. Susan, how are you? And how far the promotional exams? I thought, maybe this week you are supposed to write it, Abby.
Good morning, Rose.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Highlands family. It's good to be back. Yes, I did that yesterday. That was why I couldn't join the day before
Yeah.
yesterday and yesterday. Yes, I did yesterday. To God be the glory. How is everyone doing? How is Highlands family doing? I hope we are doing good. I hope we are keeping it positive, keeping hope alive.
Mm, yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. Thank you so much, Suzanne. And I hope that, yes, I believe that it all went well. So I thought it was going to take like 3 days. That's why when I saw your name already on her list, I said, Susan, don't finish the exam and be alpha. But I'm glad that you're done. And I know that you're going to come out in flying colors. And I know that that promotion will definitely be yours. And we will be here. We'll find it together for that. So do party. All right. So it's
Mommy,
good to have
but the Amala plate is now three. Oh, the Amala
you.
plate is
Mhm.
increasing for the
Yeah.
Faji.
Hi, Binabo. Good morning. How are you today? Thank God it's Friday. How is the weekend looking like for you?
Yes, thank God it's Friday. The weekend is beautiful. Rose, I hope you got my message. Um,
Yeah, I did. Yes, I did.
okay, so good morning to all our valued listeners. Good morning, beautiful Lady Rose and beautiful Susan. Don't worry, whenever we jam, you go chop amala, you find out you go tire for amala self. And one, I was at a program somewhere on the island. uh, Institute of Internal Affairs, yes. So it was about the International Women's Day, though. So I was seated somewhere, but I saw a lady. Kai, this lady resembled Susan.
Wow.
I said, this lady must be Susan's sibling because it was so. It gave me. I was able to imagine in my head that okay, this is what Susan would look like if I see her one on one. I was just looking at this lady from where I was seated. I couldn't, go walk up to her because of where I was sitting and all of that. And I'm sure this lady will be thinking, why is this madam looking at me every now and then? Eventually, when our eyes locked again, she just bowed to greet me like, Madam Ejo, stop the staring. And I actually
Oh,
thought
goodness.
at the end of the program, I was going to approach her and say, please come. Do you know anyone by the name Susan or not? You know, that kind of a thing. But,
Yeah.
you know, by the time we were doing this networking and everything, I missed her. So I said,
Oh,
okay, tell Susan, we have a sister in Lagos. If you have, I think I met
Susan's
her.
family
Yes,
in
I
Lagos
do.
now.
I have all of my sisters are actually, I have three sisters and they are all in Lagos.
Please do well to find out from them. Did they attend any program at Ministry of Internal Affairs on the island?
Okay,
Just do.
I would ask them.
So I take stare at the lady until the lady takes stare and greets me like from afar. She just bowed her head like that. I say, Madam, I don't me.
I mean,
thank, thank you.
all
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Binabo, for joining us today. So, please do well to join us on YouTube at WFM 917. And of course, do well to share the link and let's get to go on with the conversation. So, now let's head on to start up with now. Okay, let's start up with something we discussed previously. I think that was day before yesterday when Binabo was not with us, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it was only I took that with Susan. No, with Buki alone. It was only Buki that was with me, and we talked about so for all our listeners, I'm just taking us back a bit so that we'll get to hear the thought of Susan and Ibinabo. I can't remember if Susan was around, but I know Ibinabo was not available for that day. Now, this was on Tuesday. Susan, were you with us on Tuesday? Can't even
Yes, I
place.
think I was on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I wasn't
Oh
available.
yeah, I think we took this on Wednesday. So on Wednesday we took this. So this man comes out in an interview, he was talking about how his wife is very secretive and talking about how she has houses, she has malls, which he didn't know anything about. In fact, they were suffering to the extent that she came and proffered the solution, saying that the landlord of of the house they want to get into say they has done some kind of let's say discount or something. They worked out something, so they were able to pack into the house, not knowing that she's the owner of the house. And year in, year out, she kept increasing house rent they were paying, knowing fully well that they were not doing as well as they were. So there were just a lot of things that the man got to know about his wife and some of the properties she had that he didn't know anything about. So for him, it was like, how did we degenerate to this? How did we get here? What kind of lack of trust is that? And all of that. So a woman owning properties without her husband knowing. Now, on her own side, she said she gave a story of how she grew up. Her mom did everything. At the end of the day, all of the documents and everything was in her father's name. When she took ill, the father did not even remove 1 naira to take care of his mother. Now they had to go back to go and start from square one with the sick mother. And that informed her decision of, getting things for herself without involving the husband or letting him know at all, and all of that. So we talked about that, and then we had, it was it Elizabeth or Esther who called and said that, oh, what the woman did was not right, all of that. If she's from a Christian background, she should be able to open up to share, and so we had all those kinds of comments come in. But I would just like to hear your thoughts on these two things. Or not two things, on this particular one that we talked about before we head on to, the story in Ogun State here. So, Ibinabo, let's start with you. Your thoughts on this story, because we have plenty women who are achieving things, doing things, building houses without their spouses knowing, and that's because of where they are coming from. If maybe not even from trauma or not from anything, no, maybe because of what they've seen happen over and over time. So let me kuku save myself and my children and let me know that I'm okay. And while I was talking to Buki, I gave a story of my own friend that the mother was the one that paid the school fees of three of her children, and all of us went to private university. So the mother has been the one paying their school fees through the father. They will call the father and will ask for money, and the mother will give the father to pay. So these girls did not know that it was their mom that was behind everything until the mom died. When the mom died, God so kind that the house they were living, the the mom had put the name of one of the daughters inside the house documents. That's the only saving grace, and that's why up to today they are still in that house. Now they're not yet married. The last one should be maybe in her early 30s. The last born in her only early 30s. She's the only one that is married. But the rest of them are still in that house, and that's just because one of the daughter's name is in the document. As we they talk right now, their father that was claiming he loves them, he did everything, everything, everything. He don't go outside. He give woman belle. So they say whether he don't marry the other one. I don't even know self. At the end of the day, he's saying that he went to meet that one because he needed a male child. So I was not asking my friend. I say, how is it sure that that male child that is calling that is his son? And they were like, well, and up to date, he has not sat down with these girls to actually have a conversation with them that come on, you people have a brother somewhere. They heard it from outside. So is it didn't happen. So are we going to blame this lady for this, or is just a trauma thing? How do we go about this, or what do you think about this? Well, let's start with you on this, and then Susan concludes this before we move on.
Okay, thank you. When I saw the video and I read through comments, For me, I came to realize, I've always known, but I came to realize that we are yet to understand what trauma is about. You
Hmm.
know, looking at trauma on one side, I am looking at, life markers. There are life markers, where in some of our life markers, some are shared, like our birthdays and all of that, graduation and everything. Some are very personal. And we hold on to these things, and some of them are part of our trauma that we have experienced. And people don't understand what trauma can do to you, even till you are old and you are gone. If a trauma is left unattended, especially childhood trauma, you are struggling between loving somebody and holding on to the aftermath of your trauma. And the question that came to my mind was, who took the story to the public space? Why should the story be in the public space? If it was a husband, honestly, I'm a married woman and I love my husband, I love my children. But if the story was taken to the public by the husband, I say, no, that marriage is already cracked. Not because of what happened. Because, people are blaming her because they got a place where she was increasing the rent and everything every year. I was looking for more details. Increasing the rent in 1%. How? The rent was 1 million naira. Was she making it 2 million naira the next year, the third year, 3 million, the fourth year, like that? Or what was it just in little fractions? Somebody will say, does it even matter? It does. Because you don't know how a person who has been traumatized, you don't know how they reason, you don't know how they think, because you're not in their shoes. This is a mental issue. A woman who witnessed her very hardworking mother gave everything to the father, and when the woman very ill, the man was nowhere to be found. Whereas in some other cases, in some other families, where even without the woman contributing to the success of the man, maybe like supporting him financially or putting things in his name or properties in his name, even when they are in such the case, when this woman is down with illness, you see the man would even sell his properties to make sure that he survives. And here was a man, all he called his own wise wives. And when she became very ill, he didn't support her and she died from that illness.
Hmm.
That was hugely traumatizing. In fact, for that lady to have been able to bring herself down to get married is a lot.
Hmm.
Then it has killed a trust for her spouse. Some people are saying, should she punish her spouse for the crime committed by her father? It is because she has been traumatized. So she has been struggling with that trauma. She has been struggling with trust. She has been struggling to cover every of her achievements from her husband. Just like her mother. I know it is bad, but people should begin to understand what we call trauma. For me, I was telling myself, she did well in one aspect, and nobody is talking about that. When they had issues, accommodation issues, she could as well have kept quiet and let the husband go look for everything and suffer for it. But she provided an accommodation under the cover of, there's an arrangement of installment to pay installment from the landlord. You understand? So at least that was something she did. Another thing, I feel that she coming up with the yearly increment was probably because she felt this husband will suspect. He will suspect. Look at how they got the accommodation in this country where they go ask you to go and pay 2 years, 3 years, pay caution fee, pay this fee, pay that fee. You are getting it as if the landlord and your senior brother. So she was probably trying to cover her tracks of suspecting that there's something going on. And probably by the time you cajole and coerce, you will own up. So she was trying to cover her tracks. I saw the pains in her eyes. And people are jumping at, hey, she's wicked, she's this. See, that woman needs to be healed. She is
Yeah. Buki
she is
mentioned that.
suffering. She needs healing. She needs therapy. Her husband, if her husband was the one who took it to the public space, he didn't do well. You will sit down with her and want to know why she did that. And by the time you get to know this story, yes, you will feel bad, but at the end of the day, you will still forgive her because you will look for the good in what she did, not all the bad in what she did. She got you an accommodation where you could pay in piecemeal. Who does that? Landlord na angel. Now stone person they take build house. So you see, and also I'm looking at what were their discussion when they were dating. Because if the man had known about how the girl's father, the lady's father treated her mother and all of that, he shouldn't have just overlooked it. That is a big thing that could affect their relationship. See, I know a lady who went to buy her land. She took her husband there to inspect and make a choice for her. After which, to respect him, she gave him the money to go and pay. You know what the man did? He paid in his own name. Not even the woman's first name is on the receipt of the I mean, it's on the receipt of the land. Every other document for the land, they are all in this man's name. And you know that he did not pay for this thing. You know that you did not pay. Even the car he drove down there with the fuel in the car was the woman's own. And the husband's family are always accusing her of not allowing their son to do something for them. You're not allowing our son to build a house for us. You're not this and that. I call the woman and say, I like you, Sha. And they learn patience from you. And they learn how to control myself from you. Because if I can condone my husband putting all his name down and even my own first name is not there and all of that, not even when the family members will come and be quarreling with her, you are doing this, your children are going to private schools, hey, our son is not doing anything for us, and the son will be there. You don't go talk
And,
anything.
and he won't defend her.
Who defend her? And she'll not be kneeling down, up and down, begging.
Ah.
And Koribe, it's not like that. Hey, you don't understand. It's not like that. Then she started planning on how she'll be giving the man money to go and do something in the village for them. So you can imagine when a woman now tries to be, she has seen so much and she now wants to protect herself, everybody will now be jumping on her. I don't do that to my husband because I came from a family where my father told me till today, I always say it in the presence of my husband that my father is the best dad anybody could ever have in this life. So and my husband, they try, for your own corner. He's not an angel, but at least I don't have much reasons to hide some things from him. But if you have a certain background, and then again, you're looking at the man like this one sabi my everything I get. The thing go good. I have a friend who told me that each time she got a contract and she would discuss contract with a husband, he will keep asking how far, and they mobilize you as if he cared. The moment he hears that they are mobilized, that he will go broke. They get money again. He's gonna do everything until all the proceeds from that contract don't finish before he go come get money. So that was his own way of eating, tethering her that she will not make much progress. He couldn't stop her from her business and everything. But each time he knew that she had money, that time his own pocket would dry. So that kind of a woman will now come up with an idea to protect herself, and one day we'll get to them now be saying what? I've had experiences of different women because I deal with women a lot. There was a woman, who said they were living in a self-contained. The man was insisting, my brother's children are in this school, my sister's children are in this school. So because he said that the woman, a businesswoman, she they sell, that woman can walk. This man don't get enough money. Oh. He'll be advising the wife, let's put the children. She will say, how are we going to put? We'll bring you. And the man will be emotional blackmail. So she would
Hmm.
now support the man in payment of school fees. At a point, we will say, you don't get money. She will pick up the responsibility. She said when they had about 3 children now, it was difficult with her business and everything. So she went to buy a bus, a nice mini bus. When she buy the conveyor business. Now in this man, he go the woman, the woman's shop, go borrow the bus, carry a waka. By the time they will need the bus to supply customers, she go they rent bus, they do all of those things. So
Hey.
with all of this behavior, when she now got her brother introduced the place to her where they can buy lands and everything, she could not tell him. When she was going to do a housewarming, she invited just a few people who could keep her secret for her. That day, somebody told me that when the pastor was praying for and everything, no, I think they are Muslims, the person, whether it's imam or pastor, I can't recall now. He said the woman was crying, that she wished that she could invite her husband to come and see her, see what your wife is doing, and be happy for her, see what we are achieving. But she could not tell him because this man, he will beat her, he will sell stories to people, he will blackmail her, do everything. So she was now keeping everything, every of her achievement away from him. Tomorrow now, I don't know them, so I don't know the updates. Tomorrow that man will know and begin to shout, hey, my wife get house, did not tell me. But he wouldn't tell the world how he had been sapping, sucking, usurping, doing everything to our finances. I'm not saying that people should keep it up, but let us understand what trauma is about. So let parents stop doing things that will traumatize their children so much so that when they grow up, they transfer it to their homes.
Hmm.
Because trauma is not attended, if it is attended to, if it is not dealt with, if you are not, nobody is able to relieve you of that trauma, put you through therapy to come out of it. If not 100%, at least a large part of it, you are able to, come out of it. You are going, see, nobody, there is nothing you can do, you will transfer it. And people begin to say things. I know a young boy, sorry, please, because this thing I was just going, I can't understand what trauma is. I met a young man in Abuja. When I talk about a young man, I mean, when we were small, we used to have an idea of the man or the person who did and everything, tall, handsome, this and that. This guy has all these things and he can't get a good job. He's a brilliant young man, but he's always going after older women. Somebody I know, I knew him through a friend of mine. So me, my busybody, I know they keep quiet. So I had to challenge the boys. What is it? No, they see people of your age. One day, the guy, I pestered him to the point that he opened up. He said, while growing up, that the people who approached him and abused him sexually were older women,
Older
even man.
women.
He said, so he didn't know how to approach young girls of his age. So you see, we should understand what trauma is. I'm not saying what she did is good or it's bad. Let us understand the place she's coming from. And that man cannot say that woman never supported him in his now only two way. He just came out and was saying all the things as if she didn't even support him 1% or 2%. No, trauma is bad. Fathers should stop doing things that will traumatize their daughters, and they will not carry it and go and be acting it against their husbands, because trauma no they go away until it is dealt with. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ibinabo. And that's one of the points that Buki was, mentioning when we're going through this with her. She mentioned trauma, and she said we cannot displace the place of trauma in this kind of story. You cannot take it out because that is just what this woman is acting on. Yes, maybe, she probably did the wrong things and all of that. If you want to look at it, in the faith, aspect of it, she didn't do well and all, but then trauma can push you to do things. Because looking at her, hearing her story, you definitely know that this woman is coming from a place of hurt. She's coming from a place where she has seen things that she doesn't want to happen to her. And but one of the concerns that Buki was having was that let's just hope that all of these things that she's doing, even if you not carry her husband along, make it be say her children know and her children names stay for all of those things which they do. If not, it's all, all for nothing at the end of it. So that was just one of the things that Buki pointed out. Yeah, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7. It's 26 minutes to 10 right here on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. Okay, do want to dial the number 07000 or 09155 Feel free to send us WhatsApp messages to 07031756537 or 08155 My name is Rose, and of course, I have Susan and Ibinabo with me on this amazing Friday morning, talking about different issues on the program HerLens, okay, on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families, Women Radio WFM 91.7. Don't forget we're live on YouTube, so do want to join us live on YouTube at WFM 917. All right, Susan, let's get your thoughts on this, and then you conclude this, story for us.
You see, Rose, when I listened to them, I didn't listen to the end. It just took me back my university days because I had this very close friend whose mother experienced the same. They bought a piece of land and the father said, I want to develop this place for us to live in. And so please take care of the children and I will concentrate to raise a home shelter for us.
Is
Rose,
it the father that bought the land?
is the woman now.
But he's the one that said he wants to develop.
Yes. Up to the bulb in the man's room where they were living, this woman will be the one to change it because in her head, her husband has a project he's doing. And so my friend was in Unilag and, her siblings, she had several sisters and all of that. So one fateful day, the woman was like, let me even go and see how far my husband has gone with this project. She didn't tell him. This was years later. He was feeding everybody, sending them to school. And so when she got there, Rose, there was only a fence around that property. Nothing had been done on that property. And this man felt very comfortable that the wife was feeding everybody, sending the children to school, and doing every single thing.
All right, Susan, I
I
think
know
we have
how
a
I
call.
felt.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Hello, good morning. Hi, good morning.
Most of the times I thought I just like matter of understanding. A situation where man is married and the woman is rich than you. I don't see any atom of jealousy in me. If he's buying a property, as long as it's in our children's name, sometimes I don't finish my life with I can inherit the ordinary property. So I don't see anything that is just happening here. I have a friend of mine that divorced. That said that he's not married, get one to marry because a prophet told him that the woman will have that I said, not marry the thing again. I think for this age and time, you see, wisdom is profitable to direct. Let us just apply wisdom in all these things. Have a nice day.
All right, we didn't get your name and where you're calling from. Hello. Okay. Go ahead, Susan.
I agree with the last caller. Wisdom is profitable to direct. And so the woman was broken. And so my friend came to me and was like, Susu, can you imagine this? I felt her pain as a young girl like myself. Imagine the woman carrying all the burden, borrowing, just to send the children, believing in her head that her husband was handling a project that would, be somewhere where they will get shelter. I said this to balance it out, that what this woman has done, men also do it. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. But to the real issue, Mami Binabo has spoken about trauma. I'm not going to flog about trauma and what it does over time. Even me, when not be my mama, not be my papa, I still remember it clearly. Now, think about the person who this same thing happened to. If she gets married tomorrow, what it might trigger in her. It is beyond, hiding a property. And it is not about religion. If you love a woman right, she will be open to you in every aspect of her life.
True.
That is the truth. Sure. It's not about religion. You might not be going to any religion, but treat me as a queen that I am. I will also treat you like my king, because you need to be in my life. You need to know the things that happen in my life. I mean, no matter where, no matter what. And yes, I agree that in marriage, there's a lot of transparency. I agree to that. Even in relationship, there should be transparency. But there are certain questions I need us to ask. Why do some women, feel safer hiding wealth than sharing it?
Hmm.
Why do women, because I'm focusing on the women, why do they feel safer hiding it than sharing it from the men? Because you find out that in our society today, financial control is real. Most form of violence is because of financial control. The man doesn't have anything to do doing, so the man feels he has control and he treats her like a piece of trash. That is the truth. And then most times, if it is not well managed, women get stranded after marriage. You find yourself helpless. You find yourself struggling. What next? How? This. So, with all of these things, and if you are somebody who has grown in a family where you have seen, I know the things I have seen in my family that I say, no, not on my watch, it's not going to happen to me. Instead, I stay where I am. Not because I don't love my parents, not because they are not doing good together. In fact, if you see them, you would know they love each other. But I have my reservations about certain things moving forward, because I also do not want to find myself in a tight corner. Power is often unequal in marriage, whether we like it or not. Power is unequal in marriage. That is the truth. And so sometimes, it feels more like deception. Like sometimes marriage feels like deception more than protection. That is why you see people behaving in such way, no matter the gender. We are specific about women because most times women are more vulnerable. But no matter the gender, it feels more like deception than protection. And you see partners hiding things. So, but does this make it right? This is where what the last caller just said comes into play, because the real problem is how you handle most of these issues. Yes, I am coming from a place of trauma. I am coming from a place of heartache and what have you, from what I have seen. But does that mean it is the only place I should stay? Do I need to transfer the things I have carried, the baggage I have carried from my family into my own family? I'm raising a whole new generation. So what should I do differently? Should I continue to carry those things that my parents have done? Or should I now find a way to redefine myself and become a better person? Because if marriage is truly safe, Rose, equal and secure, secrecy will not exist. Let's be factual. Let's be factual. If marriage is safe, it is equal and it is secure, I have no reason to hide anything, because my husband would not even feel moved by whatever I have, even if I'm doing better than he's doing.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Yeah. So this is not just about one woman. It's about the kind of relationships we are building. Are they safe for honesty? Even in dating. While you are dating, you are open to your partner. Why? Because you feel safe and secure. So the real question we should begin to ask as women and as a people is, are we in relationships that thrive on honesty? that thrive on transparency? Are we thriving on relationships where we feel secure and safe, where we do not feel threatened by the next level of our partner? I'd like to stop here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan. Something you said that just, that just got me. Why in the first place do we even need to hide these properties? Because if I know you to be, or if I didn't have a past trauma, or if I know you to be somebody who is also open to me, why should I, have, why should I find it necessary or important to keep things away from you? That really tells a lot on the kinds of relationships that we have. And like Ibinabo also mentioned, there's no way you would tell me that for that kind of person, she has not been supporting the man in one way or the other. Because I mean, he came out and he's saying a lot of things, but it's a person where they tell you stories, say something happen. Go tell you what you talk for the matter. Go tell you what you do for inside the matter. Go tell you now only that part now you go here. All right, so we'll just leave it at this. This is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and it's 15 minutes to 10 right here on Women Radio. Now, let's get to hear from you 07000 or 08155 or do well to send us WhatsApp messages to 070 Those are the numbers to send in text messages, and also you can use 08155 So those are the numbers to get in touch with us today on the program, HerLens, that comes to you Monday to Friday. Immediately after the news, we're here to talk about, to go through some topical issues with you.
Hello,
Hello, good morning.
I am Monica from Omoke, calling from
Okay,
Omoke.
Monica from Ogun State. Please go ahead, Monica.
Please, I don't support that woman. For good 10 years, she has been with the man. Uh-uh. Even if you need to hide something from the man, you would have known his character till now. You would have known part of his character. You have children with him, for you stayed in the same house for 10 years. Not only that, you went ahead to increase the rent. Does it mean she doesn't love this man? No, I'm not in support. Not in support at all. Even the man I saw on the what do they call it, during the interview, something, the way he was talking, he doesn't look like a violent person. Doesn't look like someone that can be bad. I know we are humans. We are humans. We will have one fault or the other. We are not perfect. But the woman did not do right at all. 10 years. She didn't try. She didn't try. She doesn't. I don't think she even loved that man so that much. Somebody you have children with. But that's my contribution anyway.
All right. Thank you so much, Monica, for calling. Thank you for giving us your contribution to this. So I'll just leave the floor open in the next, let's say, 5-6 minutes. Let's respond to this. Ibinabo, let's start with you quickly before Susan comes in.
Okay, on what, or still on this matter or the other story?
Yes. Responding to what Monica just said.
Oh, okay. So I've said it, and I'll just repeat it again, that a lot of times in Nigeria, generally, we don't know what trauma is. We don't understand trauma. There was a lady who used to be on this program with us so many years ago. And I will mention her name because she had come out to say it in the open. If it was something she confided in me with, I wouldn't mention it. And that was Yinka Kenny. She had this trauma. She was abused, sexually abused by a supposed man of God when her parents had financial, there was paucity of funds to raise the children. So she had to go and stay with this family. And the man was sexually abusing her. And it was traumatizing for her. Sometimes it is because of social media and information is all out there. If not, many people do not understand what trauma is. They just see themselves behaving a certain way towards other people. Now it is because this woman is married to a man and she's hiding everything she had from him because of her experience. In some other places, it is because somebody, you know that there was a time I was robbed by two guys on Okada. And since then, each time an Okada passes me, I'll be scared. My heart will just sleep. Are they going to attack me again? It went on for years. I was the one that, when you are traumatized, you when you're becoming aware and you are processing it, and you want to choose differently, to choose to do differently, choose to react differently. It's a lot of work. That's just one example. In my eyes, in my mind, every Okada rider is an armed robber. Every Okada rider, I don't like them. And you can imagine if I had a dealing with an Okada rider, how I would deal with that person. But I had to work on myself to get over it. And it took me a long time. So you see, and that was it. I'm not going to even compare that to the experience of this woman. I'm not saying what she did is right. Nobody has said what she did is right. But let us understand the place of trauma in everybody's life. And parents should, stop doing things that are very heavy things like this. Like in some families, you send the family away, your wife and your children out of the house because you are bringing in another woman. How does the children in that family grow up to trust their spouse? So there's always a chance they will stick. When you put on this in this way, they'll flow to the other part of the fence. What she did is good, but please, we need to begin to understand what trauma is. And we should begin to deal with our trauma. We should begin to process work, but we need to become conscious that this is my trauma and I don't want to pass it to any other person. It's not the person's fault, and I want to choose differently. Thank you.
All right, thank you too, Binabo, for that. Susan, quickly, Yasin will not have time to take the Ogun State story. Maybe we'll start with that on Monday. But let's quickly hear from you before we go in about 2 minutes.
So I want to quickly thank Monica for calling in, but I want to address you head on. One, the face is not the index of the mind. The fact that the man was speaking calmly does not mean he's not abusive or whatever. So you cannot judge based on that, what you saw. And for them to have even, who allowed for that granting of interview? Why did they bring it to public space? Was it to trend or was it, there are different areas, different angles to that particular issue. No one, repeat, no one is saying that it was wrong to have kept it away. But we at Women Radio, our own to that. Why did she keep it in secrecy? So we're addressing it so that other women also would learn and understand